right now on Deconstructed. To find out how everyday things work, we strip them down, cut them up, and tear them apart. In this episode, the reverse vending machine. This thing has 4 surveillance systems. It's actually a highly sophisticated fraud prevention machine. The electric razor. 1 motor, 4 different blades. It's a tiny master of movement conversions. The wind turbine. It converts the wind into movement, then movement into electricity using magnets. And finally, the wood stove. It uses more air to produce less pollution. It's the miracle of dual combustion. And that's how it works. Deconstructed. We take things apart so you don't have to. This program contains experiments which are performed by professionals. These tests are dangerous and may involve the use of hazardous materials. They should not be performed or imitated under any circumstances. The reverse vending machine. Largely ignored because its job is so simple, at least in appearance. We feed it plastic bottles, it prints a receipt. The receipt is exchanged at the counter for cash. Its mission is highly sophisticated. Fraud prevention. In order to avoid becoming a dispenser of easy cash, the reverse vending machine is actually a full-fledged system of surveillance and analysis. The machine. The bottle. In the machine, it travels through a series of specially designed anti-fraud systems. The bottle is first photographed by an ultra-fast camera. This initial system allows the machine to identify the object being inserted. Is it a deposit bottle or not? Or is it an arm? If everything seems okay, the bottle is accepted. It moves into a second fraud detection system. This one weighs the bottle to make sure it's empty. There's no way the machine will allow a bottle through after it's been pulled off the shelf next door. Next, the bottle is sent to a metal detector. And finally, it's scanned by a laser system. If, and only if, the bottle makes it past these 4 surveillance systems, is it destroyed, and a receipt can be printed. To understand how these 4 systems work, it's time to do some destroying of our own. The photographic surveillance module. A series of diodes. They send out a beam of light. This beam goes through a special piece of glass that allows light to travel in one direction only. The beam bounces off a mirror and goes through a lens, which makes all the rays of light parallel. The rays going through the bottle are dispersed. Only the rays that do not touch the bottle bounce off a mirror and make the trip back. The glass reflects the image toward the camera. The microprocessor then analyzes the silhouette of the bottle, accepting only those legitimately entitled to deposits. In order to prevent a fraud artist from pulling the bottle out after inserting it, the camera snaps 25 pictures every second. The microprocessor compares them in order to detect any and all movement in the machine. This system identifies legal bottles and suspicious movements, but it can't tell a full bottle from an empty one. Now the conveyor takes charge. All the weight of the conveyor is hooked onto an aluminum block, which is attached to the rest of the reverse vending machine. On each side of the block are strain gauges, metallic sheets only a few micrometers in thickness. Whenever they're squeezed or stretched, their electrical conductivity changes. By sending an electric current through the gauges, the microprocessor can measure their deformation and calculate the weight of the bottle. If it's too heavy, the bottle's full and rejected. Since this machine only accepts plastic bottles, it needs a way to detect and refuse metallic objects. Under the belts of the conveyor are two coils. These coils produce a magnetic field. Plastic has absolutely no effect on the magnetic field, but if a metal object ends up on the conveyor, the field will be disrupted. The change is detected by the microprocessor and the object rejected. The last phase of the verification process is the laser scanner. By bombarding the bottle with 1,680 laser beams per second, the machine reads the bottle's barcode to confirm its identity. If the barcode isn't visible, rollers turn the bottle until the beams find a barcode to read. In a matter of 2 seconds, the reverse vending machine has conducted 4 precise fraud detection tests. The bottle is then shredded so it takes up less space, and a receipt can be printed. Mission accomplished. Thanks to its 4 surveillance systems, the reverse vending machine can identify, weigh, and scan 30 bottles a minute, while preventing any attempts at fraud. Pretty impressive for a machine that's insignificant, at least in appearance.